Okay, a couple of weeks has gone by and I've kind of forgotten what I did in the last one, but I'll go through it completely. So there is a list of programs you can choose. You can search them. I don't think that was there last time, so I don't B1, it'll search for the B1 along the side here. You can also search for particular words and you can clear it. So it goes back to the full list. I can step through to, let's say I want to use basic. If I select one of those, it then selects that as the basic set. So basic is the top level, and then in here it only displays programs that actually have calls attached to them, which is why it doesn't show basic part 1 as a program. What else do we have? Again, we can search these. So again, you can have, I don't know, viewer family. These numbers here, you can step through them as well, showing what's available for that particular program. You can now click through these. So let's say, bend the line. Try that one. Whoops. I was debugging this earlier, so I'll set it off again. So do that again so you can see it going through. Bend the line. Takes you through to here. So under here it's showing each one of the variants of bend the line, and it also shows the rules from which call it can go to another. So in this case it's going to be used in program B1, and if the callers, the dancers are in arrangement 0. You can also, if I get an 8-person formation, you can also view what the arrangements are going to be like. So it swaps them around. I think they're right at this point, but I'm sure somebody will point them out as time goes on. The colours aren't really relevant to this one. I know they're, because what will happen is each time we do the calls, dancers will be in different positions depending on what's previously happened. So they're just there sort of a demonstration purpose really. What is important is the gender and the direction. So you can see all that. You can add and remove these. So if I had said I wanted a rule for all programs for arrangement 4, I can add that. And this little one here deletes them. And you can step through all of them, doing the same. Use the back button, takes you back to this view. Then you can also generate. So again, these weight lines can be used. So let's say I want to use a swing. I'm not sure if this will work or not, whether it's going to work as I expect, but we'll try it. You can set where you want to start and end, what formation you want to start and end in, how long you want the sequence to be, and then you generate. Now, there's a few little niggles here. Just notice one there, that it's not deleting it after you've looked at the particular call family. But it is now populating the generate more reliably with a few caveats to that. The main one being, so first of all it populates the first step with a random set of calls and then populates them all. But as you'll see in a moment, once this generate is finished, the randomness is not random enough, is that right? So basically it's reusing things, particularly when you set this swing to 71%, you'll get loads and loads of swings, if it's possible to get a swing. and all you'll see is around every other one will be a swing, or if it's possible, I notice there's two variants of swing. If it can oscillate between swing 1 and swing 2, it will do that and ignore all the other calls. So there's a little bit of work to be done on that, having to define what it can use after each call, and how often a call can be used within the sequence. It's doing a lot of work under the hood here. It takes about 5 minutes to generate them. The other thing it's doing is, at the moment, it's keeping every single generated call, or sequence even. So I currently have about 6,500 generated sequences, of which the majority of which are useless. They're not very well made because they're not well constructed. So the next step I'm going to put in there is that it will allow you to keep them. So I'll put a lock on it, if you like, or a preserve click button. Otherwise it will just delete them all after you've finished with them. So you have to keep them, and that way you can keep the good ones from lesson to lesson without having to regenerate every time. And because of that, what we'll do is we'll move this into a separate tab. Like this has got 2 tabs here, so there'll be 2 tabs here. One will be to select which calls you want to use, or call families you want to use, and then the other tab will contain this, where you can generate, and it will also list any existing sequences that match this set of selected calls. So anyway, it's nearly there. So we've done, usually what we're looking at here is, first of all, it adds the first set at the start, then around about here it's creating forward sequences, so halfway through the sequence it goes forward from 0 to upwards, and then this sequence here, it's going from the end backwards until it meets the start sequences, and then this final bit at the end here is when it's all adding it to the database. So in this case it's added 74 new sequences to the database, and we can then select one. Takes a little while. And there's another another little bug in here which I need to fix, is that it doubles up. So this section here from B1CO2 is identical to this section up here. So there's actually only 5 calls in this, but it seems to have 10, which is not true. And again, as before, you can run through it. It still isn't applying the rules yet, so that's something I need to do. A lot of it has been doing so far, I've been creating this page so that the rules can be managed and recorded and added to and removed from, managed even. The next thing is to include them into the actual sequence itself. I noticed that there was a problem with that, in that the generated sequences only know about the actual call. They currently don't know what position any dancers are in, because it hasn't up until now. But as soon as you start introducing the rules, you need to know where all the dancers are and what group they're in and what position they're in and that kind of thing. So that's the next bit. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say at this point. A few things have happened. It's moving forward still. That's all for now, I think.